I just need to know what kind of fox you are. The girl giggled, hiding the nose of her mask in her hands. Then follow me into the forest, and you'll get to know me. But not right now, when it gets bright. I mean, your whole body is shaking, you poor thing. I don't want you to get a stroke. Hey, let me accompany you to school. After hearing this, the dog barked in agreement and stopped messing with the mitten. I leaned in, trying to grab the piece of handwear that almost ran away from me. We went towards the school and the lost dawn. Unfortunately, because of the translation, the structure of these sentences is a little bit weird. And so I keep, tripping over it. Here and there, the lights came on in the windows of houses we passed, as if their inhabitants were sending us warning signs. Silhouettes lurked behind curtains, dogs let out occasional barks. Spirals of gray smoke rose from chimneys, TVs bustled, and dishes clanged in kitchens. We watched the village slowly rise from its slumber, while carefully treading the snowy wheel trails. I walked in the left one, and she took the right one. The dog was following right behind us. I expected the fox to bring up something weird again, but she stayed silent all the way to the school, as if playing with me some game only she was privy to. She would only giggle from time to time when the dog sneezed from the snowflakes that fell on its nose. Well, she's nice to dogs, at least. And I guess if she is actually a denizen of the forest, like some kind of magical forest critter, that maybe it's a good sign that she's kind to dogs, since, in stories like this, they're often, with wild animals that can talk, they're often considered, too close to humans, so. I hope that made sense, what I just said. I was the first to break the silence. So, what's your name? Here it comes. Names, names, names. You people always need to put labels on everything. What name would you give a fox like me? I don't know. But I've read about Alyssa the fox. You know what? I don't mind. I'll be Alyssa. I couldn't understand if she was joking or not. I turned around as if looking for an answer from the dog, from the dark sky devoid of dawn. My silent questions were left unanswered. The school's outline was already in our sight. Oh, I'm assuming that's a janitor. There's an awful lot of people smoking here. It looks like a prison. Giant brick box stuck in the endless night. Lights in its windows didn't bode well for me. The warden trees were guarding the schoolyard. Screams, childish laughter, and someone's whistling tore up the silence. I went here with Mom when we just moved, and the place looked cozy at the time. Empty corridors that smelled of polish, puffy snow outside. The second time, I came alone to get the books and just kept on imagining my peers rolling down the railings, grade schoolers running the library, and teachers marching down the corridor with the air of self-importance around them. High schoolers were smoking at the entrance, in track pants and wool caps, perched on their foreheads. Their appearance destroyed the last of hopes for a cozy school. Their stingy eyes and the teeth, yellow from nicotine, their smirks, all of it had the same gloomy effect as the cloudy winter morning. Absorbed by my thoughts, I completely forgot about my companion. I'll wait for you at the backyard after school. Near the hanged man. Near what? She just ignored my question. Don't be late. I hesitated. Blowing hot and cold again. Mom always said that when I would have trouble choosing between two options. Thinking about Mom helped me reply. I'm going straight home after school. Well, Antosha, I'm going to let you off the hook. But the others will creep up to you with their smiles and sink their teeth into you. Won't be able to shake them off as easily. Remember my words. Hey, now! The fox opened her mouth in a wide yawn. What kind of trick is this? Someone running in the distance called out my name. I instinctively turned around. Was it the dog? Oh! A huge snowball whizzed past my shoulder and hit the dog. It whimpered and ran towards the spring. The darkness devoured it. Aww. The fox girl was also nowhere to be seen. She dissolved into frosty air. Or was she hiding in my shadow? I gulped and swallowed the gum. Unlucky. After taking a deep breath, I went towards the school, toward the cutlets and dough, toward the light raining down onto the snow. Okay, what can I look at? Ah, I can look at the car. So, like, these things have sound effects now. Car. There was a fresh-looking Volga parked nearby, with one of its front wheels perched on the icy curb. Black like soot. As if it was straight out of the horror stories Dad loved to tell me when we hid in the attic during a thunderstorm. I remember him always wearing a sad smile while mentioning the black car that snatched children. He would say, "It looks like a funeral car on the inside, white curtains and all. It has DSC in its license plate. Do you know what that means? Death to Soviet children." Funny. I was born in the USSR, too. Whose nest is this, I wonder? A thieving magpie? Then it probably has all sorts of shiny things in it. Pieces of colorful glass, bottle caps, polished coins, or child braces. A tall man was standing near the gate, puffing out clouds of smoke into the wind. He didn't look like a teacher. Was he a PE guy, maybe? I carefully studied his face that looked like it was cut from a piece of granite, and his hair lip that was holding down a cigarette. He was playing around with car keys and staring back at us. The light from the cigarette was reflected in his eyes that were sitting deep in his eye sockets. I froze in place. The hulking man lazily tore off his eyes from us and walked toward the road. Okay. Can I still save? I want to save before going in the building. I'm going to click the car again just so I can save. And I will save it in a new slot. There we go. Okay. Oh, I can actually look at them. A buzzing crowd of upperclassmen with their winter hats tipped to the side. I'd better not draw their attention. Is there anything else I can click on that is not highlighted? Nope. Alright, into the school we go. I could hear muffled voices behind the doors, saw blinking lamps. Darkness creeped along the windows, and it felt like the school was drifting in open space like a lonely, lost spaceship. After going up to the second floor, I noticed a crowd around the notice board. Oh, there he is. Oh, looks like it's been translated. Can I don't know if it's going to zoom in or not, but it looks like I can read it. What? Well, you guys can pause and have a good look at it if you want. I'm going to assume it's going to let me read it. Everyone was taking part in a lively discussion. I moved closer and took a look at something everyone else was interested in through a wall of backpacks. There was a piece of paper with something printed on it glued to the left of the notice board. Okay, I can read it. Good. There we go. Attention, child missing, Volva Matyukin. Yeah, Matt, you can. Oh. Child missing. 10 years old, grade 4. He left his home on January the 5th around 1600 and never returned. Was last seen at the bridge over the Smorodina River. He was wearing an orange coat with a hood, a black wool cap, a scarf, and mittens with green stripes. Might have had a plastic toy gun with him. And then there's his description. Vova Matyukin, that was his name. 4th grader. On that grainy print, Vova looked dead, with a black mouth and dark, empty eye sockets. Could it be that the darkness welling deep in the forest invaded his pores and mutilated his face? A plastic toy gun. Empty eyes of the lost boy pierced through my soul as if pleading. Unable to meet his stare, I turned around and rushed to the window. Took a seat on the windowsill. The corridor was slowly filling up with children, in groups of few. Nobody paid me any mind. In the darkness of the school toilets, child voices were hammering a nursery rhyme. For the fox and for the bear, bonny tasty meals prepare. I turned my head toward them, trying to get a better look at their features, but then my attention was stolen by a loud clicking sound. A female teacher marched down the corridor with her chin held up high, or raised up high. Her heels were hitting the floor like miniature hooves. A girl was trailing her every step. Oh, I wonder if this is the fox. That'd be funny. She was also looking pompous, stopping along the way and whispering some secret in her friend's ear. She was probably a class rep since she was carrying an attendance register book. Ekaterina. Ekaterina, take this, please. The teacher opened the classroom door, and the crowd of children swarmed in, screaming and pushing. Okay. Out of all of them, a tall, red-headed fat boy caught my attention. His face was full of blisters, and he looked like the inside of a pomegranate. A bad feeling risen up the hair on the back of my head. I've seen boys like him before, unsettled eyes, cackling laughter. The girl, who was a smaller copy of the teacher, warned the boy with a wave of her hand and entered the room through the clearing in the crowd. Some other guy stood in the way of the crowd, and the redhead immediately shoved him. Move your legs, moron! The boy flew headfirst, flailing his hands, trying to keep his balance. The fatso burst out laughing, and a couple of kids joined in his nasty cackling. Their laughter sounded like someone was snipping with huge garden scissors. The classroom sucked all of the kids in. Jesus, what I said sounded terrible. The classroom sucked all of the kids in. The corridor stood empty. I wanted to grow roots and stay on the windowsill. Just a handful of lampposts outside were battling the darkness, writhing like fluorescent fish in the black ocean. Maybe I can still run away. Go outside, dissolve in the dark. I imagined myself running through the snow, how it squeaks under my boots, and how I'm becoming lighter and lighter with each step. The ringer's trill blew that illusion away. I tore myself from the window with great effort. The prim teacher looked at me over the frame of her glasses, clearly annoyed. I'm the transfer student. I was told to come here. The snowy forest trail was winding in front of my eyes. The pines rustled, but it didn't sound predatory anymore. She buried herself in the register and flicked through the pages. Your last name? Petrov. What are you mumbling there? Say it clearly. Petrov. You're not on the list. She measured me with long and heavy stare as if trying to see if I was lying. I wanted to sink through the floor. Hazy faces observed all of that from the left. The classroom breathed and snorted in unison, like a living organism, like a dangerous beast. Are you sure? I don't have you in my register. My knees chose the worst time to start shaking, and I felt dizzy. I clenched my fist so hard my knuckles became white. They told me to come to the classroom 204 and ask for Lilia Pavlonia, class 6C. Apparently everyone in the classroom took my words for some sort of joke because they were all laughing. What's wrong with this school? The classroom fell silent. The kids hid their smirks for a better occasion. Why do we hire so many interns? They all know how to put lipstick all over their bulging lips. When it comes to real problems, I have to solve everything. How did they send you here without any proper paperwork? We've had the same thing happen so many times already. Wait here. I'll be back. After I have a little chat with them. The teacher flew past me, mumbling something to herself in righteous anger, and I was left standing at the center of the classroom. Like a convict in front of a firing squad, I lowered my gaze, feeling the mocking stares from all around the classroom directed at me. They prickled my skin. Once again, I imagined running far away from this place, fighting the clawing wind, soaring high above the pines in one long jump, with the wind on my back as my only companion. The eyes of my future classmates were asking, this new boy, is he one of us, or an outsider? Somebody whispered something, and stifled laughter rolled through the classroom. Wipe the board! It was easy to guess who was the main prankster here. Hey, Four Eyes! Are you not only blind, but also deaf? I said wipe the board! My knees weren't the only shaking part of my body anymore. I was trembling from head to toe, and I prayed for the teacher to come back sooner. My prayers were answered by the powers that be. And what should I do with you now? Where will you sit? I'm guessing right next to the bully. It looks like that space is free. Oh well, you can sit with Simon, I guess. He's alone anyway. No way! The fatso put his backpack on the seat beside him in defiance, scratching his belly and smirked. Are you back to your old tricks? Should I call your grandma here again? The classroom went silent. And what's she gonna do? I'll be the one to do something if she doesn't. Put away your backpack, now. Simon didn't move a muscle. He started studying the portraits of writers on the wall, looking bored. I needed to do something. I cleared my throat and continued in a stifled voice that sounded nothing like me. I can sit in the last row. I think there's a free seat. The teacher snorted loudly. She looked at me, then at Simon, then back at me. Fine. Go there for now. And you, Bobberin, I'll have a talk with you later. Come to me after classes. You'll be on cleaning duty. Got it? Simon forced out a twisted smile. Juicy pimples were growing on the tip of his nose, ripe for the taking. I walked carefully, afraid to stumble and fall, causing another outburst of laughter from everyone. I took my seat at the back, at the last table, where I was met with a pile of old posters. The outcasts took their seats, and the class was ready to start. Now this is settled, let's start the class. Today's theme is traditions of Russian and international literature in Zoshenko's Don't Lie. The fatso turned back to me, his stare informed me of the coming days, weeks, and months of bullying. Got my eyes on you, said his watery look. Can we feed him to the Lord of the Forest? I would like to do that. Oh. He spit in his book. After just a couple of periods, I'd already noticed a huge yellow spit stain in my notebook. Then at the cafeteria, this Simon accidentally spilled a glass of compote on me. Compote, a dessert drink brewed from a mix of dried fruit and berries. Then, he flailed his hands around after exiting the toilet so some of the liquid on his hands would get on me. Just before the final period for today, Simon pushed me into a buzzing crowd of girls from our class. Oh, God! They made way, cursing, but I couldn't hold my balance and ended up ramming my face into the girl I took for the class rep before, right in her chest. Ow! I immediately stepped back, dying from embarrassment. I'm sorry. Are you alright?
Yeah.
Then she suddenly put her hand. Will you look at him? Groping me in front of everyone. I'll tell my mom. Oh, come on, you saw him push the kid. They'll expel you, pervert. There was some sort of sadistic pleasure in her eyes, as if she was a child who was about to put a lit-up match to a chafer beetle. I didn't mean to. He pushed me. We all saw that, you know. No blind among us. She stared at my glasses while showing me a creepy smile. I started to fume on the inside, but Simon's laughter cooled my head. I pushed you? You sure? He swaggered up to me, enveloping me in the smell of sunflower seeds and rotting teeth, and then pushed me to the ground. Like this, huh? What you gonna do now? The bully towered over me as if saying, Come on, hit me. Let me see you try. Ooh, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Do we stand up to the bully and kick his ass? And then probably get in trouble? Or do we endure? I feel like one of these leads to the forest, and I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of want to end up in the forest. If the option is turn into a cool animal kid living in the forest, I want to do that. So, contrary to what I would have done in his place, unfortunately, I'm not that courageous, or I wasn't as a kid anyway. I'll fight back. I'll say this in a different spot in case that's a bad thing that I've just done. Listen, you. My throat went dry, my lips were moving on their own, and my voice was akin to a stifled squeal. Simon wore a mocking smile. Oh, his teeth are so gross! Go on, Four Eyes! Should give him like a suitable, snotty bully voice. Why did you stop? All waiting. If you ever touch me again... Simon slowly stuck out a finger and poked my forehead. I did? So what? If you ever do it again. Here. Once more. And again. And again. And again. He was poking me with his finger so hard that my head tilted backward. I must not cry, or I'll be done for. What'll a wimp like you do to me? Oh, he's the kind of asshole that thinks you aren't gonna fight back because he's big. I bet you dollars to donuts you fucking punch this kid in the face, he'll never bother you again. My vision went blurry. My soles tore off from the floor. I rushed forward and threw a random punch without looking. Yeah! What I saw when I opened my eyes was beautiful and horrifying at the same time. Simon was holding his ear and blinking in amazement. Was I the first person to rebel against his absolute rule?
Stop it!
I needed to run, but I was already surrounded by his cronies. Oh, we're gonna get our asses kicked. Lilia Pavlonia. Lilia Pavlonia! Petrov just hit Batburin. Simon's cheeks grew even redder and his pimples even whiter like the heads of larvae. But a smile flashed on his face that was only noticed among his comrades. He got real close to me. The smell of rotten teeth washed over me. You are fucking done. His voice was evil and dangerous, like someone tore off the lid from a kettle with boiling fat. I was waiting to get hit, counting the thumps of my heart and guessing where his fist will go. Solar plexus, the jaw, the nose. But he just turned around and walked off. A thought, cold and sober. I'm going to get killed today.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers over on Patreon and give a special shout out to Jack Fox, Old Monster, and Dezarin. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. Hey everyone! Thanks for watching. Like what you saw? Have thoughts you want to share? Let me know in a comment. Want to help my channel grow? Then share with your friends or subscribe so that you never miss a new video. If you'd like to help me out and get some neat rewards, consider supporting me on Patreon. Thank you so much, you guys. I really couldn't do it without you.